What is your favorite death on EastEnders?
Oh, that's a question. Christ. Um, favorite. How are we ranking favorite? Are we saying like impactful or like sad?
Obscure or impactful or sad? Like Janine pushing Barry or Bobby, whatever his name was,
Barry,
off the cliff.
Barry. Yeah, that's a sad one.
Barry.
If we go for the saddest death, I'm sure we'll do a video on this at some point. It's one I would love to get into in a deeper way. One of the deaths that get me every single time is seeing Pat Butcher's death. Because she has all the things, she has all the families she's raised there. You know, Ricky's there, even David Wicks is there. He tries to make it in time, but doesn't because it's kind of that's how the character happened, anyways. But just that bit with Janine, where her and Pat are essentially like, I was never a good mum, but I'd like to believe that you were mine. And then it's because it was at that point where Janine was just kind of on, just messing with everyone. So it was really nice to get that like deep sentimental, like, you're not that bad. Like there was some love there. So I say for saddest, it's the Pat Butcher death, really.
For me, saddest is Ethel's death with
Oh
Dot.
yes, yes,
Because because to me that death is very sad for the simple reason the storytelling in it is basically Dot does not want to kill Ethel because it goes against her religion, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
just sobbing out tears.
Hmm.
Another sad death for me is the dog Willie when he died. You
I
know,
don't I don't remember when he died.
well, no one has seen Willie since. So, have you seen my Willie?
Yeah, Ethel. No, the Ethel death is also really good. I forgot about it, but it's just because it's just two really good like old actors. No, no, you have Dot, and then you have Ethel, and there's like they there's so much like deep friendship there that is just sad. But
And then
it's
you have.
it
Hmm?
was like
Go
it was
ahead.
a compelling art aspect of Dot because fundamentally she wouldn't want to do these things, but she still has like the loyalty to like her friends to go through with it.
Like, uh, and then I'll never forget it. The Slaters then come on the scene at her funeral and park up in front of the car, I believe, or in front of the hearse.
Yeah,
Another one is Alfie Moon. I know he doesn't die.
yeah,
Another one is Alfie Moon when he gets pushed down the stairs.
yeah, yeah. I suppose, and
Uh,
for other sad ones for me was Paul Coker dying, like Ben's first proper boyfriend, because they did this big storyline where Ben finally realized he finally realized he's gay, because he's met this guy Paul who's like a confident but like kind of open and proud like gay man. Um, but eventually, but like short, like they just get together, they just are happy. Then they go out on the town. Ben's fully happy to be like holding his hand, and but then they just get kicked to but then they both get like beaten up, and Paul gets kicked to death, and it's like, no, it's just really
there,
sad.
there's a lot of homophobia on EastEnders, which is very weird. A lot of it has to do with Ben for some reason.
I
I
mean,
think it. Hmm?
yeah, it happened.
Uh, I think another sad one is when Frank Butcher fakes his death. Uh, Another sad one is all the Ben Mitchell actors that were sadly recasted. You know,
Yeah, to be fair, I don't mind half of them. It's just Harry Reid was a really good Ben Mitchell, and I'm sad that he wasn't brought back. But I like what current Ben Mitchell brings. But I'm
wait, Harry
also
Reid, which one was he?
Harry Reid was the like uh, he was like the other adult Ben.
Was he the one with glasses?
Yeah, he had like the fairly thick rims.
Wait, so how do they explain now that Ben Mitchell doesn't wear glasses?
He's got contacts.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I know he has contacts, but who does he have contacts with?
Spain. Oh.
I
All right.
think, trying to think now of another. I think Peggy's death is very sad as well,
Yeah, I think
because
it
her
is.
death is
Oh no, you can't. Yeah, I'll say my point.
her
Okay.
death is how I'd imagine I'd want to go, old, senile, and talking to my best friend.
Yeah, no, it is. It is good. I was glad that they brought like Pat back in to say that because they did have one of those classic friendships.
You bitch, you cow.
Like all, I feel like all good soap characters need that like best friend.
Yeah, Doc Cotton had Ethel. Doc Cotton didn't really have much friends.
No. Um.
Sharon Mitchell had Phil Mitchell.
Or even Linda at this point. They've kind of intertwined them enough.
Yeah, or Linda. Sack has HIV. That's his best friend.
But it's yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean that segment might even just go into a slight video itself, just talking about EastEnders' death. Who knows?
Yeah, to me there is some sad EastEnders deaths. Like, the problem with soaps is you get too attached to the characters.
Well, you say the problem. I think it's what makes it so good.
Well,
Because
not the problem. The problem is the wrong word, but
yeah, I think one thing I'll even basically at some point I'll probably send you over the clip, but in Coronation Street there was this couple called Jack and Vera who were like they are the old married couple. Like they've been together for like 40, 50 years. By the end, you maybe even like 60. Like they were, they never they didn't really show much affection that they wouldn't want to have like lived the way they had with anybody else. So,
mhm.
like, and occasionally you get the scenes where they're actually like, yeah, oh, Jack, I do love you. And then Jack's like, yeah, yes, Vera, I know. Like, it's always very light. But when they both died, they brought the other into it because, they were so key to the characters. And it's quite possibly the saddest death in soaps for me. Because I didn't even know them when I'd initially seen the death. But I was still bawling I was still like crying my eyes out because they were just the old married couple. Like they were just
It's always the old actors that get you.
yeah. Yeah, like it's just you know. Yeah, I suppose if we're going for like saddest death in soap, it's Jack and Vera, man. It's like it's not particularly tragic. They both just die of old age. That's fine. But like the fact that they brought the other actor like back to have them do that, it's just really sweet.
Yeah.
And it does make me cry every time. If I ever go, I need a cry, I'll flip on Jack and Vera's death and I'll start crying my eyes out. Great.
It is. I'm trying to think of another. I uh, is there another great death? There's so many. Like, it's always the old characters that you feel sorry for when they eventually pass on.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also the reason why it's so much sadder is because if you're a big soap fan, you've been watching this for years.
Yeah.
Like you've grown up with these characters, so it's almost like they're like second nature. It's almost as if you know them. It's kind of like having a parasocial relationship, like how people get attached to like a YouTuber, except these are like, so oh yeah, they're my mate, they're my friend, and it's like, nah, but you've seen what these characters do for years. So when they do get old and they do like slow down, you start to go, you're like, oh God, you know, are they doing good?
Hmm. I don't know why that's just a sad death to me. It's not a death, but it's the one when they're interrogating Jack Branning,
Yeah.
and they're beating him up. That's a very sad moment for me. And they're battering him because he apparently slept with Sharon.
Oh.
And Keanu's like, oh no. I was like, Keanu.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It took me a second, but yeah. I suppose if I can pick one more really sad death, um,
Dot.
hmm. Nah, see, my issue with Dot's death is that they could have. You're telling me if they didn't go to June Brown, God rest her soul, and like just go, okay, all right, we're gonna we're gonna have that, we're gonna have Dot die. We want to give you this really big storyline. It's gonna culminate at like Christmas or something, but we want you to be able to play out your final scenes, and we really want to just celebrate you as a character.
Yeah.
Instead, they went. She can't. She can barely read. Okay, how about you just say hi? How about you just say hi, and you say about 2 lines, and then June Brown's like, "I'm an actress. What do what do you mean? I'll get round the difficulties." But I think
I feel like
that's what annoyed me about it, because it obviously was supposed to be big, but I couldn't stop thinking of the fact that imagine if June Brown was actually there doing it though.
if she was alive.
Yeah, but they had the time. She's been gone for like 3 years or so, at least 3-4 years, like in the show. Like they could have gotten her back if they wanted to. They just didn't.
They could have, and they chose not to.
Like I'm glad they did. It just I don't know. It just sat wrong with me really. Like that's not how you treat someone who's been such a key part of the soap for years. Like Dot Cotton's one of the most like classic soap characters. And the best you can do is just tell her that, oh, sorry, you can't actually do this anymore. And she's like, well, I'm not going back. They've disrespected me fully. I
Is that
don't.
what happened behind the scenes?
Well, she came back. She brought in Dottie, and they appeared. And then she had some scenes with Dr. Leg, who died, who was also, he was in classic EastEnders. He was like the big doctor. He was on the square. And, he died. They had some good scenes. She also had a bunch of scenes with Stuart Highway, Callum's brother, who was slightly mental. But that was how they turned opinions around on him. Like they made people go, "Oh yeah, he's not just mental. He's friends with Dot. He's you know."
That's another great send off to me. Is Stuart Highway.
Yeah. I was
He was
really
brought in
worried
as
they
a
were gonna.
mentor
I was really worried they were gonna make him die.
from cancer.
Yeah, because I don't know. Stuart Highway is one of my more liked characters just in recent memory because there are actual layers to it. And he started off, he was mixed like ex-con mate, and he was trying to mess up his life. But then they started to redeem him. He started to help out Martin's daughter Bex. He started to help out Sonia. He was friends with Dot and tried to really be there for her. And then he gets a Rainey and they try have a baby, but he struggled. Like it was, I thought Ricky Champ, the actor, played him really well.
Wait, is Dottie Bex? I'm confused.
Nah, this was a while ago.
But are they the same person, Dottie and Bex, or am I confusing
Oh
them?
no. Dottie, you've seen. Bex is Martin and Sonia's daughter, who left around the time that there was the big boat crash where Dennis Jr. died.
Right, and Dottie is
Dottie's Nick's son, Dot's granddaughter.
right. Sorry, I
You
was
know.
just confused.
Yeah. There was a lot of names thrown about.
Well, back to the show.